Yo guys, it's going down. It's Ash here from the NTV Hub. Welcome back to another stream. Just again to give you an update on what I've done today. And I haven't, to be honest with you, done that much today. It's Sunday. The weather, what's happening? The weather has been terrible. We've had rain. We've had lots of rain. The weather's just not been at its best, to be honest. And we went out for food. The food was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give you a little bit of a backing story about this restaurant. So we originally went to this restaurant called Brown's. Went about 4 or 5 years ago nearly now, and it was absolutely lovely. I'm waiting for orange too. Alright, fair enough. The food was absolutely lovely. Could not fault it. So we went back again second year. It was absolutely great. It was absolutely fandabidozy. Enjoyed the food. Then we went back another year. We took my dad and we said, "Oh, this is a great place. It's a nice place for food." And we went in and things seemed a little bit different. And the owner of the restaurant had had a stroke, so he'd had some matter with him, and he'd not been too well. And it was left to like some young people like manning and working at the restaurant while he was ill, serving and cooking. And these girls were just doing an absolutely terrible job. I'm not gonna lie, they were absolutely awful. They couldn't remember what you had ordered. They couldn't get your order right. They didn't know how much change to give you to start with. And then a little bit later on, there was a cat that had wandered in from outside, and it climbed on one of the tables, and the staff and people were feeding it food. Were like letting it eat food off of plates what people had left. Like if they'd like left the restaurant and left something on the plate. Also I like the bar. Alright, yeah. The cat was eating food off of like people's tables, and it was licking the plates, and it was running about and eating food and just being dirty and disgusting, and it right put us off the restaurant. So we didn't go for a couple of years actually, and this year we decided to go back and give it a try. We thought, we'll go give it a try this year and see exactly what it was like. See if it's improved, see if it's any better, because we knew it used to be good, and sometimes the old saying, everybody deserves a second chance. So we didn't have much on today. It was a little bit wet, so we decided to just have a drive there, get a bite to eat. So we go to the restaurant, and it's changed to Lax's Cafe or Lax's Diner instead of being Brown's. We go inside, and it's not really changed. The seating's still the same. Again, it was young people working there, but it looks to me like it had changed hands. But it was a young bloke behind the till and stuff like that. We decided to sit down and look at the menu. The menu was pretty sort of basic, wraps, salad, baguettes. They do breakfast there. You can get things. You can get mains like steak and gammon, sausage, mash, pie, burgers. I wasn't really sure what to have, so I decided to have a bacon and cheeseburger. In the end, my nan decided to have a classic quarter pound burger. My granddad goes for the steak pie. He's a big, likes his steak pie, likes his meals with gravy. So I go to the loo to start off with, and the loos it's mucky. There's muck in the window. There's cobwebs with spiders. There's like all wet patches on the floor. There's a funny smell. It just wasn't the best. So I come back out, sit back down, we have a cup of tea. The cup of tea's fine. They only have brown sugar, not white sugar, but I'm not exactly what you would call fussed about that. Whether they have brown sugar or whether they have white sugar. Sugar to me still tastes alright. So it takes a bit to come, not too long, not enough to really complain. The average time. Alright, welcome back. And then my granddad's steak pie finally comes with mash, and he hardly gets any gravy. He gets the teeniest bit of gravy, which is just like gravy slash sauce, whatever you want to call it, in his steak pie. He has peas and mash, which are bone dry, and you don't get any bits of gravy on that. Now he says that it was all right, but he's the type of person who doesn't like complaining. Like, he's grateful. He doesn't like wasting food, so he tries to eat it and puts on a brave face. And we all say, look, if you're not enjoying it, just say don't eat something that could make you badly or what you aren't comfy with. So he gets his, and he's had his about 3 to 4 minutes before ours come, and our burgers come, and it looked all right, and the burger just tasted horrible. What I had, the burger had a really like awful sweet taste inside of it. The bacon, what came with it, was hardly cooked. It wasn't cooked enough, in my opinion. Now, I don't like my bacon too well done. I do like bacon not well cooked, but I don't like it undercooked at the same time. And it hadn't been cooked enough. It had only been cooked enough, really, for the fat on the bacon just to slightly go a bit brown. Alright, bye. I did not like it. To be completely honest with you. Then I had a bowl of chips. Well, it kind of like came in this sort of like metal cone shape type thing. And yeah, the chips were quite nice, to be fair. Some of the chips were nice. But then I did just think there was a few that weren't completely cooked. To be too precise with you. And I just didn't enjoy the atmosphere of that restaurant. It looked a bit down, it looked a bit low. It just tasted crappy, did the food, compared to like other places where I've been. My nan said that hers was nice, but she still wouldn't go again. And the bill for all the food cost us £31. So for my granddad to have a steak pie and mash with peas, for me to have a cheeseburger with bacon and chips, and for my nan to have a burger with chips and salad on the side, cost us £31 with 3 cups of tea. Now, the cups of tea was nice, there was enough in the pot to have a second cup if you wanted. You weren't forced to just having 1 cup, if you get what I mean. You could have had another cup if you'd wanted. There was enough in the teapot. But the whole atmosphere for me, I just didn't like it there. And to be honest, I wanted to go and try it out again in a way, but I wasn't what you would call, it wasn't like top of my priority list. Like, if we hadn't have got chance to go there this year, I wouldn't have lost sleep. I wouldn't have said, oh, we never got chance to go there. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't that exactly what you would call excited about the place. I've been off it for a few years since we saw the cat in there. The food just didn't exactly taste that good. The menu's changed. The menu's gone a little crappy, if you ask me. So yeah, then we had a ride round to Sulby. You guys may or may not know, but a motorbike rider who lived near me, just in a little village outside, came off at the Southern 100, and unfortunately died from his injuries, which was a big shock because we've known him for years, and he was such a nice person. And the Sulby Glen Hotel was putting on a little remembrance night for him, where a couple of riders were going to speak, and it was just a night to remember him, really. A little bit, in a way, a little bit like an after service of a funeral, but a bit more, just riders what know him doing a bit of a talk. you know, a few drinks and you know, a little raffle, and you know, raising money for a charity. We heard about it on the radio, but we didn't quite fully catch what it said. But unfortunately, you had to buy a ticket to go, and the place was absolutely packed. This is like a country pub, and for miles down the road there was cars, there was vans parked, and oh, it was just awful to get, you know. We did eventually get parked, and me and my granddad had a walk up, and you know, you wouldn't have got sat. My nan and granddad aren't good at standing. They, you know, they like to be able to sit down, and especially if it's something that you know would have been going on for a few hours type thing, which this one would have been. And you know, we put money to charity, and at his funeral, you know, we went to his funeral and his after do. So it wasn't like we were being disrespectful not going when we knew him, because we did go to the funeral. But I just, when I first heard it, I thought because we knew him, you know, I thought it would be something nice just to attend to in the memory of him. But enough people went without us going. And I think it would have gone down the tree. It looked absolutely packed, and you know, it was a tenner for a ticket was quite dear. Like when you aren't guaranteed to get a seat, and you know, it was a bit short notice, to be honest. We didn't know it was tickets. Someone said that they thought it was. We didn't hear anything about tickets. If we'd have known, we could have maybe got a ticket in advance, and then we would have known to get there early. But we didn't really know what to expect with it. So we had a ride there after our food. We had a ride back round the course backwards, and then we just had a ride down the seafront just to see what was going down. We were gonna go to a t-shirt shop, but there wasn't any parking places outside. It's the best t-shirt shop that you can really, in my opinion, that you can go to. So you know, like if I'm gonna get a t-shirt, I'd rather get one from there because they've got more option. But unfortunately, they didn't have parking places nearby. It was raining, so we weren't gonna like park quite far up the road and walk. So we came back to the hotel, and I've just, well, the boarding house, whatever you want to call it, and we've just been watching the smart telly, the smart TV, which was quite good, you know. You know, just watched a few bits on YouTube, which I didn't mind, but I'm a little bit bored on YouTube, like, because the thing is, like, I don't want to sign into my YouTube on their TV. Now, I know I could sign back out again, but the thing is like, you know, like, it's like if I'd remember or not. And the thing about it is, like, it's hard remembering, like, everybody's channel, like, for what I watch on YouTube. Like, trying to find, like, the sort of, like, normal stuff that I watch. And then, like, you've got, like, a lot of the stuff that they watch, like, they listen to a lot of 80s rock, a lot of 80s rock and roll. And it was just a bit like, well, you know, it was a little bit rubbish. Trying to find something, and it's finding stuff that, you know, that entertains my nan and granddad as well. They're not going to want to watch somebody building a Minecraft city, for example, because that's not their type of thing. And you know, they don't really understand what's going on. They'd highly find it boring. So we ended up watching some old comedians that my nan and granddad used to know for a bit. Watched them for a bit. My granddad fell to sleep. Then I was going to watch the Kevin and Perry movie. I just put it on to show my nan, see if it was something that she'd watch, like the full movie of. But it wasn't her thing. A little bit rude. It's not really her type of movie isn't rude movies. Her movies are more like, in a way, like the Star Wars. You know, she likes Star Wars. Or like movies where, like, you know, like you're going, where like the king from the castle goes on a quest. She likes a lot of kids movies as well, you know, the Disneys. A lot of like funny movies for kids, if you know what I mean. Welcome Back, you know, like Daddy Daycare and stuff like that. She's not into these brutal movies, these like big horror movies, and you know, like the rude movies, and movies where there's a lot of like fighting and blood, and you know, again, not her type of thing. Oh, cheers. So they decided to go and start, thinking about an early night because we got to get up for the racing tomorrow. The roads close at 9:30, which is quite early. There was no racing today, by the way, and we also want to try and see if we can alter the boat booking. So right now, guys, I can't tell you exactly when I'm going to be back home. Hi, Golden. I can't tell you when I'm going to be back home. At the moment, our boat is booked for Thursday night. So I won't get back home till the early hours of Friday morning, which means I'll be sleeping quite a lot of Friday, if you get what I mean. But we're gonna try and we want to try and change the booking to see if we can get a day boat. So we might, I might come back Wednesday. I might be back Wednesday tea time. Could be back Thursday tea time, or we could even end up being back Friday tea time, if we got a Friday boat, which would be a little bit, not too bad. It just means that I'd probably miss the Donkem Sea show. See one of these gravestones. See one of these gravestones. Wait, what was that? See one of these gravestones. You'll be 6 feet under. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you said about that yesterday. How are you doing anyway, Golden? Seems ages since I've had I've been streaming a lot, but it seems ages I've spoken to a few people. I feel bad, but I've not even messaged Ant this holiday. I don't know where the time's gone. Do you know what I mean? I get up and then we go out and we do things in the day. We come back and then sometimes we don't get back till late, and then I fit a live streaming and then I'm buggered. I'm ready to go to bed and get up and do something else the next day. And then obviously I ring family members, my mum and my dad, see how they are. And I've barely posted on Facebook apart from sharing a few videos if I've been browsing. Yeah, it's weird, so much, I haven't even, I've spoken to Steve a bit, because he would, if I've seen him live stream, if we've been here and the weather's been bad, but he's not live streamed for a couple of days now. To be fair, I'll have to make on and message Ant and just see how he's doing. I don't, I messaged Alfie, towards the beginning of when I got here, I told him, ages ago. Well, I told him earlier on last week that I was gonna live stream so he could come in and stuff like that. And I sent him a few pictures not long after we got here. But yeah, I've not spoken to Ant or anybody. I haven't really spoken to Steve that much apart from popping in his live streams. I've not really spoken to Ben or CJ. Jesus Christ, I don't even know what's happening. Time just seems to fly, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm starting to feel ready for home, if I'm completely truthful with you though. I'm having fun in some ways, but I am starting to miss home, because I've got so much stuff at home that I enjoy doing. I'm not exactly what you would call a bored person at home. I enjoy coming away, but I like to get back home. The thing is I enjoy streaming and stuff and building on my city. And there's been a lot of stuff gone wrong this holiday, motorbikes being cancelled, and do you know what I mean? Sort of bad weather, and it just sort of in a way makes you think. I have enjoyed the new Fortnite film. Oh, fair enough. But yeah, I just sort of think I could be at home. I could all the buildings I could have had built on my city, the subscribers I could have gained, the MCs I could have been making, the likes. I could have maybe pulled in a gig. I mean, I might not have pulled in a gig, but you never know. And sometimes when stuff just going wrong here, and it's just a few things are, the weather's just been bad today, and it just feels well, if the weather's bad at home, I can get on and I can get building done. It just, it frustrates me a bit. Like, it's different, like, if we've got stuff to do, we've got stuff planned. I know you can't help the weather, but there's just been so much what has gone wrong. Yeah, Blaine County filming, yeah, stuff like that. In a way, I'm starting to like get ready to come back and start building, and I'm ready to like get back home and see my mates and see the dog and keep in my own bed. Like I have enjoyed being here. Like, I'm not saying that, but a lot of stuff with the weather hasn't gone our way. The bike's been cancelled. There's been some like strange stuff happen here. Like, we first got here, there was a toaster. Then all of a sudden the toaster unplugged. Then there was a remote which like controls lights in the kitchen. That disappeared for so long, and then I happened to just see it again today. There's been a lot of like, we've struggled to find places to eat. We've struggled to find places to park. It just gets a bit stressful. Um, Weather in Scotland raining. Oh, it's been raining here today. I think, to be honest, I don't like to sound too harsh, but I think my grandparents are just getting a little bit past it. I don't mean to sound harsh, but they make mountains out of molehills about little things. Um, if you know what I mean. Like, because the thing with me is like, there's a McDonald's on the Isle of Man. There's plenty of like pizza places. There's plenty of like little cafes. But the thing with them is they like to go somewhere and have like proper meals as well. Like where you can sit down and have a steak pie. And like a lot of them places are like sort of too dear or closed for various reasons during the race week. And they get so like et up about it. They get so like frustrated, and then the same about parking. Like they're struggling to park, and then like sometimes you're struggling to get out your parking places. Then you go to these car parks where they like take pictures of your registration, and you've got to use these touchscreen pay machines. They struggle to use them. And then stuff like going up the stairs and stuff on boats, like to get to the decks. It's all like a struggle. Then by night time they're absolutely shattered. Oh, you want to be a footballer? Ah, fair enough. And to be honest, I'd be better in a way if I came on my own. I hate living in Scotland. Lol. Yeah, I think I'd be better coming on my own in a way, like with a friend, because like like it's just, I don't know, like it's so like, and my nan says that she doesn't like it here. Like house sharing, that doesn't bother me. Like they don't like having to go. That she doesn't like going downstairs and making a cup of tea when there's other people in the kitchen, or she doesn't like going and sitting in the television room when there's other people in. But the thing about me is they're all in there. I'll just go in there and sit, talk about my day and stuff. Watch a bit of the movie with them, sit down in the kitchen and talk. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just the way it goes. Anyway, guys, just a sec. Oh boy. Give me just a little second. Oh. I hate living in Scotland. Sometimes I hate living where I live, but I'd live over here. I enjoy it over here. I know they say it gets a bit boring, like in winter, like there isn't much to do, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm not too, I would live here, like the scenery's good, but I don't know. I would live here in a way, it's nice. I like where I'm living. It's just like in the town that I live in, there isn't much to do. Like, in terms like you want to go into town, for example, there isn't like much to do in town. Um, you know, there isn't like, you know, like for kids and stuff, there isn't much like things that kids can do. There isn't like, there's no like cinemas or play areas. There's no like decent toy shops. Yeah, yes, no. But yeah, like there isn't like really anything in our town apart from pubs and second-hand shops, which isn't really, you know, like we have a B&M, we have a Wilkinsons, and that's probably like in terms of like getting stuff for kids, you know, like toys and stuff. That's probably like the two only really well-known shops. We have a Tesco's, but our Tesco's doesn't. Our Tesco's is crap. Like I'm not being funny, but you guys who are watching this now probably have a Tesco's with like a section which sells, you know, like mobile phones, TVs. You probably have clothing, toys, video games, CDs, DVDs. You probably, you know, like have massive toy sections and a cafe inside. We literally just have a little small grocery shop, Tesco's, which doesn't have anything in it apart from groceries. We have one aisle which has a little section with about 10 CDs on, and half of the time the CDs are out of stock. We have a little section for phones, and they've got like 2006 Nokia phones on. Like, well, they've got a few like touchscreen phones, but they're all like the very early ones. They're like 8 GB Samsung Galaxies, like the first ever Samsung Galaxies when them like first crappy window phones came out. Um, we have a Lidl, but the Lidl's crap. I stay in a village that in the west. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, we have a lot of. I mean, the second-hand shops are all right, but I'd say the only thing we really have that's good to kids is the skate park. I mean, our play park is terrible. Um, it's outdated. They don't fix it up. They don't do anything with it. It's shabby. I think the last thing they did was change the climbing frame, which I'll admit that is a good climbing frame, but the swings are rubbish. The roundabouts all wobbly and tilts. The benches are all mucky and, to be honest, could do with a coat of paint. Um, there's like a massive grass space hill, um, which is just like abandoned, if that makes sense. Like there's a goalpost on it, but they took the other goalpost off it. Um, and to be fair with you, they didn't put the goalpost back on. There's loads of space to put more like park stuff, if you get what I mean. Like there's way more like stuff to put, like more like, you know, like a bigger slide for like some like older people. You could put a zip wire. You could have like, you know, you could have some like better attraction stuff. But nah, I live in a village that's now a town. Yeah, fair enough. So anyway, guys, if you didn't know, I bought a load of CDs during my holiday. Just give me a sec, because I actually left 2 CDs out, I think. Oh, sugar. Yeah, I bought a couple of, well, when I say I bought a couple of CDs, I bought all these. Oh, just give me a second. I think it's raining again. Yeah, it's starting to pee it down. Yeah, it's meant to be better weather tomorrow, but it's meant to like just be a bit wet overnight, and then it's meant to pick up. Oh, you're popping in 5 minutes? Fair enough. So I'll give you a little update on the CDs that I got. Extreme Euphoria. One of the discs is in a CD player right now. We've got Ministry of Sound, the Seasons Volume 3, mixed by Sylvius and Cole. We've got Hits 93. This has got some like you know, some like old bangers on it and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, old tracks. We've got Now 2000, so like from the year 2000, so all the, you know, like hits from 2000. Some good songs actually. Club Anthems 2006 has some good songs on it. You know, 2006 was quite a good year for dance music. Album from K Class. K Class made some good songs back in the 90s. This has just got like some of their top songs on there. I'm a big fan of K Class. We've got Conditoning, if I've said that right, 9. This just is like a clubbing CD, classic 90s, dance vibes and stuff. So like, you know what I mean, there's some good songs on here. Well worth how much it was. We've got Fascinated. Never heard this before, but it was a Ministry of Sound release, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. I actually liked it, not gonna lie. Clubland Live, mixed by Flip and Phil. The case is a little bit battered, but it's got some good tracks on it. Looking forward to playing it. We've got Dance Album, the best dance album in the world, part 10. So this is good as this one. It's got loads of like dance hits on it, old dance hits. Yeah, some good ones actually. Oh, did they? Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that there, Golden. We've got True Euphoria, mixed by Dave Pearce. You know, like Euphoria Trance. Not played this yet, but, you know, I will obviously be putting it in my CD players at some point. The thing is like, I like to, like, we've got a CD player in the van. I like to try some of them out, but because I've got grandparents, I don't put like the headbanging stuff on. But to be fair, even like sometimes a 90s hit can be a little bit, you know, headbanging for them. We got a Robert Miles CD. This has got Children, some of his Fantasy Landscape, In My Dreams, One on One, the radio version. I only really knew Robert Miles for his Children's song, but I thought I'd like try and see what some of his others sound like, and his Children's song was an amazing song. Mojo, Lady, Hear Me Tonight. It's on GTA 5. You should remember it from GTA 5 on the Non-Stop Pop radio station. The case is a little bit battered. Oh, that's it. Oh no, I just pulled a bit out. Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, so this has just got remixes, the original, you know what I mean? Different mixes. We got Hardcore 2007. This is just CD2 from a disc set. The case is battered. It had already broken. Whoever owned it last, or the charity shop where I got it from, put sellotape on it just to fix the tape up, if you get what I mean. But yeah, it's absolutely battered as this case. And I mean, all you've got to do is that, and the disc falls out. It doesn't fit in the case properly. But yeah, I'll sort the case out for it. Don't worry. Don't need to worry about that. We got Real McCoy with Another Night with MC Sar and the Real McCoy. Good song is this. I love this. It's got a good piano tune in it. Love collecting the singles from like back in the day, because they've got good you know, like good you know, they're good songs, do you know what I mean? And as nice as it is to have them like on albums, to have the singles as well, when I like the artist and that. We got Clubland 12 with disc 1 and disc 2. I think disc 2 is here. You know what? Oh yeah, disc 2 is here. Huh, it's yeah, they're advertising the Clubland Extreme Hardcore. by then. It's been, oh, has it? Wow. Yeah, I lose track of time here. Yeah, this has got both its discs anyway. There we go. Oh, not quiet. There we go. So yeah, we've got Massive Dance, 1998. So again, dance hits from 1998. You know, like them. Now we come on to one of my favourite CDs that I purchased on the holiday, which is the Creamfields, the 10-year anniversary album. Got some massive tracks on here. Some of my favourite tracks in dance music, so yeah, I was very pleased about that. Then I changed my style of music up a bit. Decided to go for something a little bit not so much me, something that I've gotten into a little bit just recently. A jungle CD, Jungle Mania, jungle drum and bass. Like a bit of drum and bass actually. I've gotten into it a little bit more recently than I used to be. I never really, and like I'd heard of it, but I never really like listened to it properly. And I used to think, oh yeah, I can't be doing with that, but I quite like it now. We got Anthems collection. Love this one. It's got like different styles, preferably CD2, CD1, and CD4 is probably one of the like my favourite CDs. The disco one isn't too bad. The hip hop one I believe would be quite good as well. We've got Essentials by Eric Murillo. He played at Blackpool, so I thought I'd get his CD out there. We've got King of My Castle. Yeah, I like this one. The single as well, the AM to PM. And then we've got on the Fat Diva, One Fat Diva, should I say, with In and Out of My Life, Defected Record, Edit. Like this song, so yeah. And then finally, Break of Dawn, Rhythm on the Loose. Love that song as well, which is good. You know, love a bit of Rhythm on the Loose with Break of Dawn. And there we go, guys. They're like the CDs what I purchased on this holiday. So why do I purchase CDs? You guys may wonder, like, why do I purchase CDs when I can just like listen to songs on my phone, search any song that I want? That doesn't. I do that. I do search for songs on my phone quite often. Quite often, you know. But when you've got a CD, you feel like you're supporting the artist more, in my opinion. I'm a type of person who doesn't just listen to a song for the sake of listening for listening to music. When I'm listening to a song, I think of the time and the skill that it's taken the artist to make that song, and then I think of how big that song became, and then I think of all the people that have danced and raved to that song, if you know what I mean. And even if it's an old song, it doesn't matter if a song's 10 or 20 years old. It still took that artist time to make it. The same with a song from the 40s. You know, you go back to George Formby playing his ukulele. It still took skill for him to play the ukulele, to play it the way he played it. Do you know what I mean? Just because the song's old doesn't mean that it should be forgotten about, or doesn't mean that, that the artist should just be forgotten about. Do you know what I mean? Like this song here on this CD, this comes from the 90s. This is an old classic song. This is the Eat Me edits. And this is a good song. Do you know what I mean? This was exactly sort of good in its day, right? But this song now is probably about 20 years old, maybe a bit older. But the artist still made that song. Do you know what I'm saying? I like having the physical copy. It feels like I've got the music more. Do you know what I mean? Like if I walk, like someone walks into my shed or my house, and there's, say, shelves full of CDs, they'll say, "Oh, oh, that guy's into his music." Do you know what I mean? And I am into my music. I want to give people the sort of like I want to give people sort of the I've forgotten the word. People the intention that I'm into music. Do you know what I mean? Um, and I love having the physical copies. I feel like it's more exciting when you're opening a case, you're taking the disc out, you're putting it in a machine, and like you sort of, in a way, you're sort of, like, oh, I can't wait, or when you get a new CD and then you take the wrapping off the CD, or you take the sellotape, you open the case, and then you've got all the artwork on the disc, and it's the same with a vinyl record. Why collect vinyl when you can just have when you can just get the songs on your phone, you can just search them in and play them, you can just install a free app and get free music. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's not, in a way, supporting the artist, is it? I know, like, I guess in a way, like, you're listening to his song, but if you're just installing it for free, which I'll hold my hands up, I install music for free, but like, it not instant. If you're installing it for free, in a way, it's kind of like, the artist, like, the artist has got to get something out of it. Do you know what I mean? And although the artist, this artist now obviously doesn't know that I bought, that I just bought a CD with his song on the other day. Like, obviously he's not gonna know that, but I know myself that I felt like I've contributed to the artist, and I've done a good thing. And like with vinyl records, Hello Jack, it's putting a record on the turntable, the excitement, looking at the sleeve, putting the needle on, you hear the first crackles, and then that song clicks in. Do you know what I mean? And it's also the same with, like, with like a song. You can kind of like just play the CD, and say, for example, like, you can just put a CD on any CD, and it can just play through tracks. You don't have to be picky about what you actually play, if you get what I mean. But that's just my opinion. You guys may prefer to download your music, listen to it on your phone, and stuff like that. But it's not. I do that, but there's no like having the collections of CDs. I'm going to do the mighty feed. All right, fair enough. Nice. Glad you are. Glad that you are. If you get me there. Yeah. You've got to have the CDs, in my opinion. Discs. Having it on your laptop, just in my opinion, isn't the same as having the cases and the covers. Nah. I'm sorry, you could call it babbling on, but you've got to be messed up in the head in music to understand my wavelength. I mean, look at this. Look how, like, nice this looks, and I've got this to keep. I know, in a way, like, you could lose the disc if you've got it on your laptop. People say you've got it forever, but your laptop breaks, your phone breaks, and I've actually been ripped off by iTunes 3 times. No, 4 times actually. 4 times I've been ripped off by iTunes. I bought a load of albums on iTunes ages ago. I'm talking 4 or 5, 6 years ago. When I had an iPod, and I bought albums on iTunes, and pretty much I got my iPad, and all of that shiz, and signed into the same iTunes, so I can download the albums back. And I started downloading albums back, and some of the albums started half downloading the albums. So, like, you'd have like track 1, track 2, track 3, then you'd have track 6, track 7, track 10, track 14, and it would miss tracks out. And then there'd be like albums where like like tracks would be missing. So then I delete the album and I try and install it again. And I delete it from my library, and then it wouldn't let me install it. So I've got three albums actually. When I think about this, three albums that were full of tracks that don't have that I don't have anymore. So in other words, like the albums aren't on the iTunes store to buy anymore. So like now I've deleted it from the library, I can't get it back. One of them was the Mashup Mix running track. I had all the albums to that song, absolutely every single album, every single song on that album. The other one was the Mashup Mix 90s. I had every single track, disc one, disc two, all on my iTunes. I can't install that back. And then I had 100 happy hardcore hits. It was a track that had 100 happy hardcore songs on it, ranging across different discs, but obviously through a digital copy. And I deleted that, and the album's still there on the store, but I can't install it back to my library. It just says purchased, and if I try to click anything on the album, nothing tries to install. It just goes dead, like nothing works on it, if you get what I mean. And it ripped me off. Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the time I paid $9.99 for them albums. So you put all them three albums together, which I've just told you about, and add up the $9.99, and stuff like that, and then like how much it comes to. Do you know what I mean? Quite a lot of money just to throw down the drain. These CDs I paid about I paid about £1 in a second-hand shop for them each. Some I got for 50p, some I got for maybe £2 or £3. But I've got these cases forever. And if you're a true music person, you're not gonna lose your CDs, are you? You're gonna look after them. You're gonna have them on a shelf. You're gonna get your disc out, put it in your machine, and then when you're done putting another CD on, you're gonna put your disc back in your case, aren't you? And then you're gonna put it back on the shelf. Do you know what I mean? And if you move in house, Ash and Jack, why was you angry earlier? Yo, Alfie, bro, what is going down? And I was not angry, Alfie, today. I've not been angry today. I don't know why Jack was angry, but I've not been angry today. No, I've not been angry. How are you doing anyway, Alfie? How's it been? Is it starting to feel dead without me on the PS4? Commenting back to everything what you say. Right, left, up, down. Oh, that looks sick. Give it medicine then. Are you missing them? Are you missing them? Huh? Yeah, I bet you're starting to miss me. Alfie bro. Alfie broski. If you're still here. And called you a knobhead. Oh wow, I thought he would. Hey Alfie, I do have a joke for you actually. I was watching a comedian earlier. I've forgotten his name now. Benny Summer. He's one from years ago who died. And anyway, he told me this joke about a guy. A guy walks into a chip shop and he says, get me fucking 60p worth of chips now. And the person who's working behind the counter says, I'm not getting you chips with you talking to me with an attitude like that. Come round the counter and I'll show you how to ask for chips properly. So the guy comes around the corner, the counter rather. The person working there goes, now can I have 60p worth of chips please, thank you. And then the other bloke has just come round the counter and goes, no, F off you cheeky bastard, you won't serve me. Oh dear me. Yeah, there we go, you see. Oh, I'm guessing you're in a party with Ant then anyway. I'm guessing you're in a party with Ant. Hmm. Alright, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I bet it's been dead without me though, like on a serious note. What time is it? Oh, it's nearly 10:30. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I have to be up early in the morning because they close the roads for the racing at 9:30, and the roads don't open till 7:30 at night. Um, so we can't go on the course road from 9:30 till 7:30 at night. We can take back roads and stuff, but we just can't take the course roads. Yeah, yeah. Not gonna be Can't be too late to bed really. With that happening. Yeah, it's a race day. Oh yeah, and it's a bank holiday Monday anyway, isn't it? But yeah, roads are closing pretty early, so we've had sandwiches and stuff made for us, just in case we get sat somewhere for a while. Um, See how we go. It's the 350 Classics, they're out first tomorrow. Um, people on like 350 Manx Nortons. Yo, so that should be quite fun. The newcomers have a race, stuff like that. I'd just also like to dedicate a part of this stream just to say RIP to Alan Bud Jackson. I just want to say that my thoughts are with the family. If you don't know, he had an accident on Thursday's practice session. He was airlifted to Liverpool Hospital. Unfortunately, he died from his injuries. And I'd also just like to say another RIP to James Counton. They're doing a special remembrance night over here on the Isle of Man for him tonight, where a couple of other riders are doing a talk. Just sort of just you know, remembering him. It was a tenner to get in, so we didn't go. We went to his funeral. It was more for people what couldn't attend the funeral, who lived like too far away, who would like come over for the festival of motorcycling, who could just go and pay a bit of respect for him. Would like to say a huge hope you're doing well to Ivan Linton. He was involved in the crash what killed James Counton. He was left critical, but he's just starting to show a few signs of improvements. He's starting to walk. He's been moved to a hospital near his home. He also did a radio interview, which was good. And there was a couple of other riders who got injured. There was a person yesterday who came off in the racing session at, I've forgotten where they said it was, but he had a little bump on the head, few injuries, a bit of concussion, but he's set to be all right, which is good, and stuff like that. You got to take the racing with a pinch of salt. It's a risk, but that's what happens. Unfortunately, these things happen when you race. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah, it's just a shame that they do happen. Do you know what I mean? That unfortunately stuff like that happens, but the riders take it at their own risks. So like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a shame that Alan Bud Jackson passed away. I didn't personally know him as such, but he was someone who my granddad knew quite well, and stuff like that. And it's still a rider. Like I watched him practice and stuff, and then like to hear that he's come off, and do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame, but it's one of them things. You gotta, it happens in the racing, but it's still a shock. It's been a bad year for the motor racing this year. You're back again. Ah, fair enough. Welcome back for like the fourth, fifth, or maybe even sixth time in the stream. But yeah, the riders do get injured. It's just something that happens, unfortunately. So it's just again, it's one of them things. one of them things, unfortunately. But there we go. There you go, and there you are. Leave a comment if you're still here, Alfie. If you're still here, I'll stream a little bit longer. You know, if you've got anything to comment. If not, I'm gonna like end the stream up and get sorted. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, if you're still here, Alfie, just leave a comment or something. And you know, we can take things from there, can't we? Jesus, I don't know if you heard that then, but that is the rain. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna put a CD on. I don't know what CD to put on. I'm sort of thinking that we maybe put this one on, but I'm also quite tempted to try this CD out as well. Oh, yeah, it is the right disc. I thought for a second then I'd been ripped off. You know what? Before I do put a CD on, there's like some CDs that have been like taped up. And now I think about it, I want to check like if they've got the right discs in. That has just like come to me. I think there was some that had sellotape on. Unless I took all the sellotape off. I know that does. Yeah, that does. Oh, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Oh yeah, this one's got sellotape. Jeez. It's got a lot of it as well. What? There we go. Put that there for now. Alright, yeah, that one's good. I think, oh yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I might put this CD on. Yeah, I might do actually. What? How daft is that? They put the disc 1 and they put the disc 2 the wrong way around. Who in the right mind does that? Yeah, I had that recently. That was CEX as well. Yeah, I got a hardcore to